versus facts. Ayy, stats versus facts. Ayy, know where we at on the stats versus facts. Yeah, my boy, hella black. He black. On the stats versus facts. And you might get smacked by the stats versus facts. Ayy. Stats versus facts. Wait. We don't do that no more. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Marsh out here with the fellas. What's going on?
Yo, how's it going?
Yes, sir. Got my man Brooklyn in the house.
Yeah, what's going
Brooklyn. Got my man C-Mac. What's going on, C-Mac?
Always good.
And back, my man Swish in the building, baby.
What's up? Swish in the building, baby.
Call me Gucci, babe.
Yes, sir.
They don't know nothing about that.
No, nothing about it.
Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. As always, your boy Marsh. And we missed y'all, man. We missed y'all. I had to take a couple weeks off. You know, there's a lot of sports going on. Some NFL. We in deep deep basketball playoffs. Hockey playoffs. We'll touch a little. Man, this got a lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah, it's going down right now.
It's going down.
First back heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, as many of you may have saw the other day, it was the first time in history that the NBA, WNBA, NHL, MLS, NFL, and MLB all had games on the same day. I thought that was crazy. Crazy. And this is probably one of the only times that will ever happen in history, just because their seasons are, so different. So that was pretty cool. But we're gonna start here, guys, with the NFL, as the defending champions, Kansas City Chiefs, took on the Houston Texans on Thursday night. And man, the Chiefs didn't lose a step, man. I mean,
at all.
Mahomes was on straight fire. Had 3 touchdowns, 244 yards. Hilaire Edwards came out. Rookie from LSU was straight cooking. My goodness. And, Watson didn't have a terrible game, but you can tell he's missing Hopkins. Swish, take it away, man.
I don't think Watkins played terrible. I just think Houston they're not protecting him the same way they haven't been for the past, I don't know, since the beginning of his career,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I can't see him doing much this year, and I really want to see Deshaun out of there, man. I think he's wasting his career at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I don't know if they can even make the playoffs. Brooklyn, what you think, brother? I know you still with Gerber.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. Super good. But it was an entertaining game to watch.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, but dealing with this corona thing, you never know, though. So I don't know. I'll give him some hope.
Facts. And Chris, takeaways from the game last night, man.
I didn't get to pay too much time to it. I don't know, man. Just as you said earlier, Kansas City Chiefs haven't missed a step. I wasn't expecting too much from the Houston Texans. Never have. I don't think I ever will. So it was my hands on them.
Well, it's for the Texans, it's kind of interesting because you have a quarterback in Deshaun Watson, and if you look between his and Patrick Mahomes' numbers, they're very, very similar. Like, they both have, I believe it's the same, I believe it's somewhere close to the same amount of touchdowns.
Patrick Mahomes had 4 more completions, but Deshaun Watson had around 40 more yards.
Yes, I'm just talking about for the career-wise.
Oh, career-wise.
Yeah, they have, I believe it was somewhere around the same amount of.
Let's see, Pat got 79 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And Deshaun got, let's see.
He was very.
Deshaun has 72.
Yeah. So
30 interceptions for Deshaun. Pat got a lot less than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, I like the comparison between those two players. I mean, they look similar on the field.
They absolutely do.
but they just got completely different surrounding cast. Like
Absolutely.
Uh,
No, you're absolutely right.
Deshaun has the potential to be a Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, but you can't put him in that conversation because of the team he plays for.
Right. I agree. Because for the Texans, Deshaun may end up stay, in a tough game, throwing 2 interceptions, but he'll have 3 touchdowns. And in the past, that was to Will Fuller if he was healthy, DeAndre Hopkins. You had Foreman last year before he went down as the running back. So you had some decent weapons, but it's all about staying healthy. J.J. Watt missed quite a few games last year, and he's missed in the past couple of years due to injuries. And that defense got a little compromised, but their defense really isn't that bad. Just playing against the Chiefs team that has kind of just figured them out ever since the playoff, about scored them 81 to like 14 or 20, and dating back from when they were down, when the Chiefs were down 24-7 in the second quarter of that playoff game last year.
I completely forgot this was a rematch, bro.
Yeah. So the Chiefs just seem to have their numbers. The Chiefs just seem to have the Texans number. So moving forward, I mean, the Chiefs.
One quick question about the Texans, bro. Do you think that they're kind of regressing and taking their foot off the gas pedal a little bit with that Watson trade?
I don't know if they're taking their foot off the gas. I think it's the inability of Bill O'Brien to really coach that team. He's not surrounded Deshaun Watson, with people to succeed with. How do you go and lose DeAndre Hopkins? Okay, you bring in David Johnson, Duke Johnson, one of the two.
Duke.
It was Duke Johnson. He, I forget which one actually played well yesterday. One of them played well yesterday. I always get them messed up. Was that David Johnson? Yeah, David Johnson played well yesterday. And he hasn't played well in a while. So their running game is decent, but they just don't have weapons at the wideout. They brought in Brandon Cooks. He's been injured. That's kind of one of the reasons why the Rams ended up letting him go. Fuller is kind of in and out with injury.
Yeah, I mean, Fuller had a good game Thursday. But, yeah, that receiving core is looking.
Yeah, Fuller played well. Yeah, they brought in Randall Cobb, who was just with the Cowboys. It's just an okay receiving core. It's not going to win you, big games. You're not going to you may get to the second round at best. You're not going to get to the conference finals. You're not going to get to the Super Bowl. So in that regard, Swish, I almost feel like they're kind of in the same spot that they were in last year about possibly getting to, the second round, because I think they're good enough to do that if people stay healthy. But
no.
Yeah, other than that, I don't see too much. Chiefs, having Hilaire or Edwards, I always forget the name of Edwards, Hilaire Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rookie.
Yeah, the rookie. He's bringing what Kareem Hunt had with him before he got suspended and the Chiefs ultimately ended up trading him. Like that running game with a strong running back to where, honestly, if Mahomes wants to throw the ball, he can because he's going to have guys open, but he doesn't have to. Until it really, really matters. They can, give the rookie the ball and say, take us there. So
they put the ball in his hands a lot. I mean, he had 25 attempts the last game. He went for 138 yards.
One touchdown.
That's a lot of trust in the rookie running back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is. And obviously he won't get that all the time because there's going to be times where defenses hone in on him. But having that option, kind of like they did with Kareem Hunt, gives them that four-way offensive attack. Kelsey, Hunt, not Kelsey, Edwards, Hilaire, Watkins is still a decent receiver, and Tyreek Hill. So they're loaded, man.
If I'm not correct, the Chiefs' biggest problem last year, even though they won the Super Bowl, was it the rushing, right?
Yeah.
Between that and defense, yes.
Yeah. So they're cutting it down. So they're looking for a repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And It was a good start to go into a repeat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, moving on to another team in Texas, my Dallas Cowboys. They'll be matching up with the Los Angeles Rams, 8:20 Sunday night football. I guess 7:20 if you're on the Central Time.
Yeah.
They recently gave Dak. They franchise tagged Dak Prescott, so he's on that 1-year deal, still not secure. He recently opened up about battling depression after his brother died, and from two different perspectives, we had a Skip Bayless on Undisputed talk about, well, I kind of don't want to hear that from Dak Prescott because he's supposed to be the leader, man. He's supposed to be, the quarterback for America's team, to where Stephen A. Smith on First Take actually came out and spoke about and had compassion for Dak Prescott, spoke on his own battle with depression about when his mother died and when his brother died. His brother died, he wanted to kill himself, the day after. He drove through 7 straight traffic lights, at like 90 to 100 miles per hour. He said it was the most reckless thing he's ever done in his life, but that was just he was hurting. And then his mother, how he so eloquently, talked about her as being, the greatest woman, the greatest person in his life. So he has compassion for Prescott, and also said that it's good to have, these figures come out and talk about depression and how were able to kind of get help and to try to be an inspiration for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my question to what I will start with Chris, between Stephen A. Skip's response, who do you kind of, agree with more?
That's a tough answer. I don't agree with any of them, actually, because I get both, and I understand, especially as a leader, you don't want to show any signs of weakness, because then it makes everybody who's underneath you question your ability to lead them. If whatever, some people might disagree, as we are having the discussion about, there's two sides to this argument. Rather, I think, and we don't know this for sure, but we don't know if Dak Prescott actually went to his team and discussed this with them. And I think that's probably the better avenue of taking, rather than going out to the media and discussing it. I think that should have stayed within the team, and then they would have had a better unit to go out and fight in playoffs, regular season, potentially even win a Super Bowl. That's my perspective on it.
Okay. Swish, give me your take.
Me, I like it. I agree with Stephen A. Smith, because at the end of the day, so many fans don't see these athletes as humans. And a lot of people tend to forget that they are human first. So a superstar like Dak Prescott, who's been in the media all year. He's been scrutinized all year. He comes out and tells you yo, I'm dealing with depression. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. And me, I look at it and I feel for him as somebody who's battled depression and somebody who's seen all that. But I also do agree with what Chris just said. At the end of the day, you're a warrior. You got to go out there. You got to produce. You're the leader of the team. Mm-hmm. But I just love to see these players and these athletes show that they're humans first. So I'm always on the side of that.
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
I don't know. I just don't like to hear stuff from Skip anymore. And he be really tripping out. I don't know.
That too, bro.
I definitely. Huh?
Nah, I was just about to say that coming from Skip is just
yeah,
bro.
It's wild just to hear it coming from him. I'm getting tired of hearing him be the side of saying ignorance all the time.
I don't respect that coming from Skip right now or ever, honestly. It's just when somebody's telling you about an issue that they're dealing with, how can you come out and tell them, hey, that doesn't matter? I don't.
Yeah, dog, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Chill. Maybe he got a cause that he has going on that he needed to speak on it in in a big broadcasting type of way. Like maybe it was something behind it, I believe. And like I said, like somebody said earlier too, maybe it was the team that got together on the side and was like, "Yo, like let's talk about this." And I don't know. I agree more with Stephen A. though, and I was wild to even hear that. I didn't even know that about him. So to even hear that and see him still be the person they are, maybe that's what they're doing it for too. Is also to give hope to those people. So
Right. So
it is what it is.
I believe that, or for myself, it is good that Prescott came, out to talk about this, this issue that was going on, with his personal life, and that's mental health. A lot of people won't talk about mental health because sometimes they do feel like, oh, this could be a sign of weakness, right? However, it's not. If you can come out and talk about what's kind of been plaguing you, what's been going on, if you're battling depression, anxiety, anything that has to do with mental health, and you're kind of outlining how you're getting through it, or you could say, hey, this is kind of a cry for help, in the same way. There's others that have, gone through or going through the same similar thing that you're going through, right? I mean, look at Kevin Love was one of the first people to, come out and talk about depression,
Sure.
anxiety, and what he was dealing with, right? And then you had some other athletes come out after that too. So no one should feel like they're going through that alone, or that they're looked, at differently just because, Dak is supposed to be the quarterback of the Cowboys and he's supposed to be held with this standard, this, that, and the other. No, like I'm very happy that he came out and said what he said. Stephen A. as well. That was another side we hadn't seen from him before. Swish, did you have a question or something you
Nah,
wanted?
I just want to add on to that, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's much more important for people with that platform and people as big as they are to come out there and say, like, yo, bro, I deal with it too. Because depression is running wild out here right now.
Yeah.
I definitely understand that, and I agree with it. And here's my point where Skip comes from, is that like he's got that old school mindset where nothing ever affects you. And he's thinking of it like how Michael Jordan, you never saw anything about Michael Jordan. You saw Michael Jordan as just a god, and like all he did was go out there and win. And the only time you saw when his father passed away and he won the NBA title, and everybody saw him crying, that was like the only side, And I think that's where he's living in that world. Yeah.
So and that's good that you brought up that point, because that's a very, very good point. That's how a lot of, we'll call them old heads, think about certain things like that. When it comes to dealing with depression and anxiety, they dealt with it differently than what the younger generation is doing. They kind of took it on the chest and they just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say and ask you this question, Chris, do you think that it's different now because and people feel a little bit more comfortable about coming out and talking about some of this is because of the social media factor, the fact that you're able to get your voice heard over social media, and there's more resources available, or you don't think that plays a problem or it plays a factor into it?
I think it plays a huge factor in it, because like a lot of people will use this sort of stuff and monetize it to get attention and make profit off it, but like it's an unfortunate consequence of the world we live in. But I think there's a lot of people who deal with it and come out and speak with it that never get attention, and it's just my perspective, and I think those are the real warriors that get no attention. They speak out and they're affecting the community more.
Absolutely. Good take. And what's up to Deuce?
I'm making a guest appearance here, man.
Swish's son making a guest appearance, man. Love to see it. Well, we'll leave it there. Just a quick update for some of you. The Denver Nuggets right now up 102-98 on the Los Angeles Clippers. Game 5, about a minute 58 left. Will the Nuggets be able to take it to a Game 6? We will see, and we will recap for you. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. So we will be right back. So y'all check out these messages. One. And we are back. Yes, sir. We just had a final. The Denver Nuggets beat the Los Angeles Clippers 111-105 to now have the series at 3-2. Clippers lead. Clippers blew a 16-point lead. And Michael Porter Jr., Mr. Give Me More Touches, clutched up and hit a big three. And some yeah. Yeah, man. So I will say this. If you're a Clippers fan, you should find this a bit alarming. Why? Because the Lakers had a big lead too, but they ultimately beat the Rockets down the stretch. The Clippers had a big lead, should have finished this game out, and you lost. This is one of the reasons. Go ahead.
Two different teams, two different type of threats. But they shouldn't have lost this game. My bad. That doesn't go along with what you're saying. But the Rockets and the Rockets and Nuggets is two different teams. Bro.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. However, I will say this:
Nuggets are a real threat.
They are a real threat, but the way the Clippers are making them look, it didn't really look like it. So this could easily be a 3-2 Nuggets lead had they not choked game two.
For sure.
So
wait. So Houston's not a real threat?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah, they not.
No, they're not.
That's very disrespectful.
They won game one.
Nah, they not though.
Yeah, that's so disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful.
Explain how that's disrespectful.
How they what?
Why?
How is Houston not a threat? And trust me, I'm not a fan of the small ball thing. I'm not a fan of it.
Okay.
It works though. It works.
Well, who are they threatening? If you go call Houston a threat, you gotta tell me what team they threatening.
Thank you.
The fact that they almost came back.
Almost is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, bro. Come on, I don't want to hear that.
Yo, that's cool. That's you can have that whole Cowboys saying. That's cool, right? But they really almost came back with that small ball thing.
Nah, I'm not sleeping on Houston, but it's like, come on, we're gonna be real. It's a 7-game series. Houston is not beating nobody in a 7-game series with that lineup, bro.
Nope. He's absolutely right. They barely beat OKC, and OKC should not have.
This still sound like just off the wall, right? Me just saying this, but Houston versus Houston versus the Nuggets in a series. Who's winning?
The Nuggets.
Nuggets and how much?
Bro.
Yeah, the Nuggets are gonna win.
I think Houston.
Y'all look crazy.
I think Houston can beat the Nuggets.
Y'all look crazy.
Westbrook playing like he playing right now.
Y'all look crazy.
No, here's why I'm going to tell you that the Nuggets will end up winning. Gary Harris he can guard with he's one of the better guards in the game. Okay, when it comes to defense, I'm not going to say he's going to shut down. He's not going to shut down James Harden. I'm not going to say that.
So he's guarding Harden and Westbrook. Which one? Which one are you going to go?
He's going to guard Harden.
He's going to guard Harden. He's going to give him a bucket every single time. Every time Harden touches the ball, every time. That's an automatic 2 points. Automatic.
Okay. I'm not going to say that because then also you can switch off of Jeremy Grant on him. Jeremy Grant has length on him, so he's going to have a hard time shooting over.
Jeremy Grant's going to be on Covington. He's going to be on Covington.
But here's the question: who on the Rockets team is going to stop Jokic in the post?
Nobody.
We'll give that up. That's 2 points. That's just 2 points.
Nobody.
Okay, what if the Rockets go cold like they normally do? Come on.
But they can go in the paint. Jokic and Gary Harris are going to foul out. They're going to foul too much.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Y'all is
Gary Harris, bro.
You know that Jokic got to come out that paint and guard PJ, right? PJ going to be in that corner. You know he got to guard it.
He not leaving.
Jokic can't even slide his feet, right? Y'all know that. Don't front.
Jokic
he moves mad sluggish.
Lakers are just very flexible on their team.
Hold on. Let me say this. Let PJ hit those threes, okay? Because if Jokic does step out and PJ try to drive in, you're going to have Grant there. Grant's going to be there. You can put Plumlee out there. Plumlee's not the quickest guy either, but Plumlee can move quicker than Jokic.
Your best bet is Grant. That would have been your best bet, and he's going to get cooked.
Say Grant as well, okay? So you're going to tell me who is going to be able to to match up with Murray because Murray's gonna go off.
Westbrook.
Westbrook can mess up, man.
You gonna tell me the Westbrook is really gonna stick Murray like that? Westbrook don't like playing defense
Come
most times
on.
anyway. Not saying that he
What do you
can't.
mean?
What?
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 You snapping right now.
You know what I mean?
You don't like playing defense?
What?
Oh, okay.
A lot of the time, Westbrook. If
He been
you watch,
doing that
if
since
you
he
watch
picked up a
games,
basketball.
if you watch NBA games, a lot of the times Westbrook doesn't even close out on defenders. Or doesn't even close
Russ
out.
lock up, bro. You snapping.
You're wildin'. You're wildin'. You're wildin', my
Russ
guy.
play defense. He get
Russ
cooked
Russ
sometimes.
been playing defense since. That's how he got his even claim to fame in basketball, was being a defender.
One thing about Russ gonna go at whoever on both ends.
He gonna go with whoever on offense. On defense, it depends on what kind of mood he's in. Because if he's not in that attack mode, he's gonna play very, very lax and passive, and that's what he's been doing.
When
I don't see Murray doing none of this.
Then he'll go at you on both sides.
I don't see Murray doing none of this stuff against Westbrook, my
No.
G.
No.
I do. I do.
When
I don't.
Westbrook can't hit his shots, he
Absolutely.
goes on defense. Like that's how he gets himself going. It's defense.
I don't see
I
West.
can't
I don't
stand
see.
I'm with you everywhere else, but we can't. We not gonna slight Russ.
No. I'm not trying to even slight Russ. If Russ ain't hit, we've seen Russell Westbrook in these playoffs. If he was really about on the defensive side, he would have showed. But it
This
didn't.
playoffs, Russ is on some other stuff.
Yeah, on some heavy other stuff. And that means not on defense. He's not on defense.
I mean,
I won't do that.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
He get lax when it comes. If you talk about one-on-one defense, fine, but off of screens and the ball's moving around, he not going out there trying to get to guys.
That's not on Russ. That's not on him. That's not on him.
That's
How you gonna bring in screens and then blame Russ for that?
That's squad.
Because you have to be willing to go not only on your man, but you're gonna have to switch. You're gonna have to run out on guys that are gonna shoot the ball. Russ ain't doing that.
Oh, okay, hold up.
Russ.
You're basing that off of right now, bubble
Yeah.
action.
No, I'm basing it off of what I've even seen during the season. There's been certain times he's lax on that.
Then I don't know.
But
I don't know.
But I mean, even based on this bubble, to say that, I'm not gonna say Murray's gonna like destroy them, but Murray's gonna average about 20.
Murray's not doing all that he's doing right now with
Murray ain't been the same Murray he was in the first round.
Yeah, he hadn't been in the game against the Clippers, but against the Rockets, that's totally different.
Okay, yeah.
That's
He's not doing that against the Rockets.
But,
Yeah, he would.
but
You say yeah, he would.
Yeah, he will.
Nah.
anyway,
Because it's not like he was going to like the Jazz not sweet. Mitchell was sticking him
They
on.
not.
I mean, like Mitchell locked down. He gave him 50 a couple times.
He not Russell, bro.
Now, I don't know. You see what he did to Russell?
he better shoot it than Westbrook.
He not Russell. He not. That was nice.
You see what he did to Russell?
They said he more like a young Dwayne Wade. I'm like, okay.
I see that. I see that.
A little bit.
I've heard that since last year.
I can see it a little bit, but
Or wait, this is Mitchell's second year, third year? I've heard that since his first year then.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Wade comparison. But no, they're not. Westbrook has a different type of intensity as well. That's what I'm trying to also say what I was saying. Westbrook's intensity is at a different level of Murray's. Murray's is not like that. Murray's is more calm, cool, collective,
I can't
having
say
fun.
If Westbrook gets going on the offensive side, yes. Because that's when he gets amped up and pumped. He doesn't get pumped.
He'll get pumped.
Go ahead.
He'll be pumped for 4 points. Don't slack on that.
Yeah.
He made one basket to get like 6 points in the game,
game.
and he was talking trash to LeBron James.
Well, that's
That's
what I'm
his
saying.
game.
If he gets
game.
points, if he gets an opportunity to get points, but if he's missing and not making stuff like that, you don't hear much from him. He don't get hyped. He don't get hyped from him.
He got a bucket. He got a bucket. This other game, this past game, he had got a bucket and was screaming like LeBron and just violate his whole life. I'm like, yo, bro,
The whole series.
yo, like, what's up with you? He doesn't care, bro. And I think that against that, I don't think Murray would be the same player that he's been. I think he's a different player.
The only thing is Jamal Murray, he like that too though. Like he got a lot of confidence in himself. He gonna try to score against whoever. I don't think he's just gonna get intimidated by Westbrook character.
And he's bigger than Westbrook too.
Yeah.
Huh?
He's bigger than Westbrook.
Is he?
Yeah. Westbrook's 6'3". I think Murray's about 6'5".
6'5".
Murray don't look 6'5".
Murray's 6'5".
Yeah.
Murray don't look 6'5".
Wow.
6'4", 6'5", yeah. So
I think they're the same height, but that's a different story.
I thought they was.
Holly, you know how to
He's
be Houston Heights.
6'5". He's 6'3".
Nah, they got him listed as
Murray's 6'4".
Murray's 6'4".
Westbrook listed as 6'2", 6'3".
But anyway, moving on. We did want to get into some of the first round games real quickly. The Thunder losing to the Rockets, man. I blame that one on Chris Paul.
Thunder losing to the Rockets. Okay.
I blame Game 7 on Chris Paul. Here's the reason why. You're talking all this mess about, oh yeah, some of us are built for this, clutch moments, some of them aren't. You had an opportunity to clutch up, hit that floater in the lane, you missed. Then when you had an opportunity to shoot that technical foul free throw, they ended up sending Gallinari out there. No, Chris Paul, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to take that free throw. Then y'all might only be down by 1 instead of.
Oh, so y'all now y'all understanding my Chris Paul argument. Oh.
And Chris Paul, that at the end of that series messed that up. But I will say that for me, for the Thunder, their next move, man, they might need to break that up. Thoughts? Billy Donovan's gone.
You can't break it up how?
Break up that team.
I know. What you gonna do?
They got a bunch of draft picks.
They got nothing to do, bro. They got the tank, bro. They got nothing.
All right.
CP is their best player.
I think CP's going. I don't think CP coming back next year.
And if he
I don't think he is neither. The way he's talking.
Going forward for the Thunder, though, I like the little core that they got. I think they keep Steven Adams. I think they keep Shea. I think they move Dennis Schroeder off the bench, put him in their starting lineup.
You can do that, but you need to get rid of Gallinari and possibly Adams. Adams is not playing aggressive enough. You may need to get
Gallinari. I don't know why he's even still in the league and keep it a buck.
Gallinari can still shoot.
Gallinari is trash, bro.
Wow.
Yes, I've never been a fan of Gallinari's game, bro. Since that stunt he pulled in New York.
You gonna call him trash? Is that like New York bias, or you really think he's trash?
And it's funny too because as I said that, I had just said too that since that stunt he pulled in New York, and when I said that in my mind too, I was like, yo, I sound like a Knicks fan, but I'm not. But
you do.
Nah, I always felt like he was overrated.
He's been solid his whole career.
Huh?
He's been solid his whole career.
Nah, bro. He's been injured his whole career.
I mean, Gallo averaged 18.7 points, 5.2 rebounds, 1.9 assists.
That's solid.
PBR was 19.
I don't know. I just never liked his game. I don't know. It's weird.
It's not like he, you know what I'm saying, is straight trash. I mean, for his career, he's averaging 16.2.
Solid, bro.
Postseason.
All right, so I sound like a biased New Yorker. I do.
Okay, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I could admit when I'm wrong. Yeah, I sound like a biased New Yorker. But I don't know. I've never been a fan of the game.
He's not no star. The teams try to make him out to be a star. He's not a star.
I don't think they should get. I don't think they should. But sorry. All right, so y'all got that. Y'all got that part. I don't think that they should break up their. I don't think that they should break up anything though, because again, Chris Paul's their best player. I think they should just play out the next season, the next year, because nobody wants to go there too. Who wants to go there right now? Really and truthfully.
Beneficial, Chris Paul to either the Lakers and trade Rondo and Kuzma from the Lakers for Chris Paul. That's a possibility that could happen. That would be a beneficial way that you may end up getting better because Rondo is still proving he can play. So I don't know if they end up doing that. But I wanted to move on. Well, we'll come back.
I have a question.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right, cool. All right. So does that trade still happen if the Lakers win?
Possibly. I don't know. We'll have to assess that.
Still,
There's a possibility that could still happen. We'll have to see.
that's rough.
We'll have to see. Other one I wanted to break down, the Heat on a roll. They're on a tear. The Heat are on a tear. The Bucks overrated, as I had said, before. My concern was their bench and their depth. That's exactly what ended up hurting them. Jimmy Butler, to me, is a superstar, and he needs to prove it right now. As I said I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, that he, to me, is the guy that has to prove it. This is your time to go to the finals and possibly win a chip, bro. Like, I don't think Jimmy Butler's ever going to have another chance and opportunity to go to the finals after this season. Thoughts?
You think he's not? He hasn't proved it already?
With that, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
He's shown flashes, but putting it together the way he's been, went from the Bulls to the Timberwolves to the Sixers to the Heat, bouncing around a little bit too much for me. Like, he can be the guy, but step up and be the guy all the time.
That's not on him.
That's not his. That's not on him though. Yeah, that's not. That's the.
But wait,
business of basketball. Okay.
Wait. A lot of that they attributed to his character. You know what I'm saying? So some people may put that on him.
All right.
I agree with
Chicago.
you. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's not really on Jimmy,
Right.
but some people would say that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Chicago wasn't him, right?
No.
And then the way he got to Chicago,
He went to
then
Minnesota.
he was. Minnesota was him, right? I believe Minnesota was him.
Yeah.
But if you go ahead, keep going.
Go ahead.
Then from Minnesota, he went where?
Philly. That was management.
Philly was management, you say?
Yeah, that was more management.
Okay.
They didn't he didn't see a long-term plan there for him that they could have had success. To what he said on the podcast with was the old man in the three with JJ Redick.
Yeah.
So
And the Sixers and the Timberwolves was the same type fit for him. He didn't see nothing going on there. There wasn't enough effort. There wasn't enough work being put in. That's the only thing. Like, it's not like that's a bad thing on Jimmy. He wants to win. You know what I mean?
No. My thing, what I'm saying is
Right.
Jimmy Butler, I've seen flashes of superstardom, right? But I think he's a superstar because he does kind of some of the same thing that Kawhi Leonard does. He may just not be as good an offensive player. But there's certain times I'm like, yo, I'm waiting to see Jimmy Butler take over, and he kind of just he does it in a sense. And I think that's the way, especially in this conference finals, going into the if they win and go to the NBA finals, I think he needs to show that, yo, I'm taking over. This is my team, and not kind of just being one of the guys. You know what I mean? I think that's how he to me cements his legacy. Is like, okay,
I'll say this.
Butler's a superstar. He's not just one of those tier guys.
Even if the Heat do win the championship this year, I wouldn't credit it to Jimmy Butler. I credit it to Pat Riley.
I feel you on that, but at the same time, I credit that to Jimmy Butler because Pat Riley did bring in a good, core group of guys. I will not, knock you there, but it don't go unless Jimmy Butler is that guy. Plain and simple.
I've seen too many.
Part 2.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, D Wade part 2.
Okay, I can see that. So, yeah, I that's.
He's like D Wade was. He's not on the level of LeBron James, even though he's won more.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think than LeBron James and more successful.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have that worldwide stardom, and I think that's something that you're kind of attributing to, like you think Jimmy Butler would need to win this season and win the championship to get. And I just don't. He's not that person to get to that mountaintop. He's on a different mountain.
Okay, what I will say to you with that is Dwayne Wade was a bad brother. Man averaged 30 in the finals. Okay, and it's not like. Well, obviously he's not a LeBron James type, but he was still we consider him probably the second greatest shooting guard of all time, or maybe third behind. I'll say behind Kobe Bryant and Mike.
I'll
Okay,
take
I was
that
supposed
for
to do the
sure.
same thing. I think he was just talking about
That-
like off-court stardom, Marv.
you say it again.
I said I was going to say the same thing as you, but I think he was just talking about like off-court stardom as LeBron. He's not on that type
You
level.
talk about off-court stardom.
Yeah, because like in the basketball world, Dwayne Wade is a bad man, like you just said.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say
like
the same
off
thing.
the court, like nobody really says, "Yo, I wish I was like Dwayne Wade." Like, if you really want to be a great player in the NBA or like look up to somebody, that's Dwayne Wade. He's that man that you want to look up to.
But it's kind of interesting. Jimmy and Dwayne actually kind of have.
A big brother, little brother type of.
Yeah, that's what I was
I'm
saying.
saying,
Like,
but they're similar. They kind of have similar personality if you kind of look at it. I mean, obviously Dwayne is probably he was a bigger star than Jimmy Butler was. But if you're looking at their personalities kind of matching up, they're kind of similar to me.
But
I've
sure,
seen-
but that's because you got to
I
look
think
at.
they are kind of cool too, though.
yeah. Go ahead, Swish.
Now I was just gonna say you got to look at their stories. I mean, they both under recruited. They both Marquette guys. They
Yep.
both came in, wasn't supposed to be
Yeah.
that guy, ended up
Nope.
being that guy. They got a lot in common. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that I think they could really Jimmy Butler could really solidify his name, this postseason. Because like I said, after this one, I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to beat probably the Brooklyn Nets the next championship. But we'll leave that for a second.
real quick,
We'll leave that for a separate segment.
before we leave, since
Go
we
ahead.
on it, do you think this is a championship team? Do you think they contend this year?
We need one more piece.
Man,
We need one more piece.
that's
We're
tough.
good right now. We're
That's
solid right
tough.
now.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we need one
say
more piece.
yes that they can. All around, I think that they're good enough to compete. I don't know if I'm gonna say win it, but to compete, to be there. I think they're probably the best representation out of the Eastern Conference to match up with one of the Western Conference teams, which will probably be either the Lakers or the Clippers.
I don't like them over the Celtics. I think they would have a good chance if they got there. I don't like them over the Celtics though.
Fair, and we'll see if the Celtics even get there.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They play tonight.
Yes, sir. As they're battling the Raptors right now, they're up
We're saying
21-16
right now. Mhm.
first quarter. So, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages. And we are back, y'all. Back with the crew, man. We have a nice little show here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Swish, C Mac, Brooklyn, and me. What a team. I can't rap.
Bars, huh?
What's that, baby Pac? What you about to do with that?
What he was doing, boy?
Sipping on that Jim Beam meat. I see
He's
you.
about to
Jim
go.
Beam meat.
Hey, this water, bro. Water.
That man sipping water. That's it.
Yes, sir.
No free endorsement. None.
Yes, sir. Well, we have come to the part of the show we call quick takes, man. Quick takes. We'll have some questions, get a minute to answer each of the questions, man. So, putting a minute on that beautiful clock right there. And the first question we have, excuse me, is going to be for that man, Chris. And
I don't know when you
Chris,
start.
here we go, man. Will Giannis leave the Bucks? And if he does, where? Or will he be joined by CP3?
I think Giannis is staying. I think it's something that they got to figure out. It's like a boat that has a hole and it's sinking right now. They're trying to figure out where it is, right? They got Mike Budenholzer another year. They're trying to figure out it's not the coach, right? So they got Middleton and they got Brook Lopez. They've got a nice depth going on with the Bucks right now, fitted around Giannis. I think the biggest issue with him in the past couple of years was his shooting and his inability to shoot. So they picked up Wesley Matthews, right? He didn't have that well of a performance this year. It's probably one of his worst since he was with the Utah Jazz, right? I
20
think
seconds.
that, huh?
20 seconds.
5 seconds? All right. So, well, it's either Wesley Matthews or Eric Bledsoe they're going to have to try and fix. Bledsoe did pretty well, but
10 seconds.
he might not be that fit for the Bucks. So I think Giannis is going to stay, and I think they're going to replace the 2 guard, Wesley Matthews.
All righty. And nice, my bro. Second question we got is actually for me. Question is, are the Yankees in trouble missing the playoffs this year? You know, I have the Yankees going to the World Series, and they started off very nicely. However, in the recent, parts of the season, they've been on kind of a losing streak. They've fallen behind teams such as the Toronto Blue Jays, who actually now lead their division. Man, it's really, really tough. They find behind the Blue Jays and the Rays. The Rays are the ones that lead the division right now. It's going to be tough for them to try to get into the playoffs. I think they've really underachieved. You have some really powerhouse teams in the American League, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Chicago White Sox. They're all in the same division, all ahead of the Yankees, the A's, the Astros. So, man, I don't know. The Yankees may end up not getting there, so we'll have to see. All right, next question. For my man Swish, will Tiger Woods ever win another major?
First and foremost, I'm a Tiger fan, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. And it's nothing against Tiger. I just think the competition has become a lot more competitive throughout the golf land. And Tiger's getting up there in age. I mean, we all wrote Tiger off a long time ago, and he did make a surprising couple comebacks. He did win himself a major, but I just can't see him doing it in his upper age. I mean, he's getting close to 50, up there in his 40s, so I just don't see it happen.
Right. Anybody rebuttal?
I don't think the competition has got better. I think Tiger just got worse. That's controversial, but
yeah, I wasn't going to say Tiger. Players are good right now.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the players are good, but he was way up here. He just got down.
Yeah. I'm never going to say Tiger got worse.
Yeah, I know that's very
smart.
The intimidation factor may not be there anymore.
Yeah, I'll say it for you.
All right, bet. There we go.
All right. Next question for Brooklyn.
Yeah.
The T-Wolves take at number 1, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, LaMelo Ball, or Obi Toppin?
Yeah, I'm not going to front. This is a very, very hard it's a hard debate in my mind, only because if they take Ball, then that means they got to get rid of Russ, I think, because they're not going to be able to have both of them. If they take what's his name? Shucks. If they take Wiseman, then I mean they're gonna have to get rid of Cat. So, because I don't think they're gonna be able to have both of them there too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna sound wild saying it, but I think they're gonna have to get Wiseman, son. Edwards and Tom Penn is dope.
15 seconds.
Tom Penn is very dope too. But yeah, Wiseman.
Wow. Rebuttal real quick. I have to say, I will say this. I think they need to go to Anthony Edwards. You can pair him with D'Angelo Russell. Keep Cat. You're not going to get rid of Cat, even though James Wiseman is good. Not smart to get rid of Cat. All right, next question. Also for Brooklyn. Should the Rockets part ways with D'Antoni if they lose this series to the Lakers?
Yeah, they have to. They tried everything with him. And honestly, I don't even think I've seen a team be that patient with a coach in a long time. Like they've been with D'Antoni. So, I mean, at this point, you tried everything. Small ball don't work. And you actually tried defenses here. So now, like, it really you tried everything. Because D'Antoni's not even known for defense, and they've been actually playing great defense. So, yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Rebuttal, anybody? I would have to say, to add on, I agree that they should get rid of D'Antoni. You can't just get rid of a center like Capella. You need him as a rim protector when the playoffs come around. Forget the regular season. Most of the time,
Yeah.
these championship teams have a big man that's a rim stopper. He may not be a
Right.
scorer, but he's a rim stopper.
For sure.
A presence.
That's all I'm going to say. Next question is actually for me. Should the Nuggets be considered title contenders within the next 2 to 3 years? I am going to say yes, that they should be considered title contenders in the next 2 to 3 years. Check this out. Michael Porter Jr., he's a little slow on defense. I think in the next couple of years, he'll pick that up and has the opportunity to, in my mind, to be somewhat a reincarnation of Kevin Durant, just the way he can shoot the ball. He needs to get his handles up a little bit better. He hustles. He's able to get rebounds. So with that, too, they have a guy by the name of Bobo, 7'2", can shoot. He can block shots. He's tough, man. And they're still probably gonna have Murray and Harris with the Jokic, and you have a decent bench. I think that they can do it. I think 2 to 3 years, Nuggets will be an NBA championship team. Rebuttal, anybody?
No rebuttals. I don't think Michael Porter Jr. is another Kevin Durant, but that's neither here nor there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was on the rebuttal as well. And the fact that I promise you, he got to give you and U.S. Swiss got to get a check from this man. Because
Oh, he's nice.
y'all on his PR team, I promise you.
He's nice.
I promise you. Y'all know him. You tell me that y'all know him. You tell me that y'all know him.
Moving on. Next question. This from my man Swish. Will Embiid and Simmons stay together beyond next season?
I don't really have a lot to say about this question. I don't understand why it's a question. You don't ever look at any young tandem. You don't ever look at any other young tandem and say, yo, should they break up? Oh, my God. They're struggling. The team around them is struggling. Damn, should they break up?
Shaq and Penny.
Nobody was telling them to break up. Nobody was forcing them to break up. All right, hold on. Anyway, no, Ben and Joel will not break up beyond next season. I think if you look back at the 2017 Sixers where they had a good supporting cast, somebody that really fit around their playing styles, you saw the best of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I think the best is yet to come with them. They're both developing as players. I just think they need a little bit more leadership between the two of them. Maybe we pick up a good leader and see where we go from there. But no, I don't think they split up.
Okay, rebuttal in the last few seconds.
Pick up a good leader like Jimmy Butler.
I like that. Yeah. Say that then.
Nah, cause see, it wasn't even.
Say that then. That should have went and got
a better leader than Jimmy Butler. How about that?
Okay.
That should have went and got VC.
He should have went and got Steve Nash or something.
That's tough. So I have one last question for you guys. C-Mac, you can either take this one or pass it. My question is, are the Phoenix Suns going to be a team to reckon with next season? You want it or pass it?
I'll pass it.
I'll take that.
All right, good. I'll take it. Oh,
Okay.
no, we fighting. What's up?
Okay, Swish.
Scratching.
I just
Oh,
wish
I
Swish, you
appreciate
can do
that.
30 seconds. Brooklyn, you can do 30 seconds.
yes, the Phoenix Suns are going to be a team to reckon with because they have DeAndre Ayton and they have Devin Booker. Those are two young people that you can build your team around, and going forward in the future, they are going to make some noise. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
No.
Huh?
Can you repeat the question again? My bad.
Will the Phoenix Suns be a team to reckon with next season?
Okay, yeah, I was right. No, they won't be. Not yet. Give them two. Give them two, 3 more.
Wait, time out. Did you see what they did in the bubble?
Not yet.
You ain't see what they did in the bubble.
There
I
ain't
don't
no.
count the bubble. Yo, to me, the bubble doesn't count.
It's basketball, right?
It's basketball. It's cute. It's cute basketball.
He said it's cute.
It's cute all the way live.
It's just practice,
It-
honestly.
Yo, I didn't want to do that, but okay. If you're gonna keep it all the way live, all the way live. Like I appreciate it. I'm very thankful. I appreciate these men for going out their way, and the women too, for going from their families and going into the predicament to give us entertainment. I do, but this should not even count as a real season. Honestly,
So you don't think they went in there with the intention to hoop?
huh?
You don't think none of these teams that the Phoenix Suns went up against went in there with the intention to win? When they were
Last word.
Some.
So?
I think like a selective 4 from each side.
Okay. If it's the last word, I'm gonna just say the Phoenix Suns, they left their stamp for what they're gonna do next year, and I'm definitely watching them.
I agree. We'll keep it there. So, moving on to our next topic, man. Gotta give some love to some tennis. U.S. Open, men's and women's going on right now. Serena Williams ended up losing to Victoria Azarenka in the semifinals, and Naomi Osaka beat Barty. Was his name Barty? Yeah, in the semifinals. So they will take on each other. I think it was Barty. I don't want to butcher her name. So that ought to be interesting for Serena. It's really tough because she's one of those. She's getting up there too in age.
Right.
How many more chances will she have to, capture another major?
She got the most, right?
No, she is 2 behind. If she wins another major, she'll be tied, and then she'll have to win another one to pass for all time. So yeah, it's tough. It really, really is. So we will have to see. We'll have to see. Let me see here. In the men's side, very, very interesting story in the quarterfinals of tennis.
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic got disqualified.
Yeah.
So just for those who didn't know, Novak Djokovic was actually the top player coming over here to play in the U.S. Open. No Nadal, no Federer. So Djokovic is pretty much, the man, coming over here and playing. So he ended up hitting a ball out of frustration. It was really just going to hit the wall, and he accidentally hit the line judge, and it hit her in the throat. She went down, really almost looked like she was shot. And he ended up
that's crazy.
getting disqualified due to the rules, even though it was accidental. So taking the rules out of it, do you think that he should have been disqualified, or do you think that it was too a little overplayed? And we'll start off with Swish.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I agree. You can't take the rules out of it. She got hit in her neck. You hit the ball when you shouldn't have hit the ball. You hit it to a place you shouldn't have hit it. It's just like you gotta follow that. So you disqualified.
Okay.
And I think he probably would have went on to win that.
I do too. Brooklyn, go ahead.
I think he should have, just because of the principle of it. Because you got kids looking up to him, and that's not supposed to be allowed behavior. Like, you got to have sportsmanship. You got to be able to compose yourself in all fashions of the sport. So that's my only argument.
Okay. C-Mac.
I guess add 2 more cents to make $1. The rule's a rule, and if it's that egregious, change it. Petition to change it after the fact, Can't do nothing about it now.
Right. This is really, really. I don't want to say it's really, really a tough one for me, but it's interesting because Djokovic is really one of the reasons why a lot of people are watching men's tennis because he's the number one player overall. He's a showstopper, right? And he didn't do it intentionally. I understand that the rule is there. You got to follow the rule. But he didn't do it maliciously,
Real quick, before you go on.
Huh?
Before you go on, did he do it out of aggression?
Yeah, he did it out of aggression.
Then
that's malicious.
Malicious intent, he did it, bro.
Right.
And that's malicious in itself.
That's all I'm saying.
Right, I get you. I get you with that. He wasn't trying to hit the line judge, which many people thought he was. For me, it's tough because for me, I understand the rule and I understand what's going on, and you shouldn't do that, obviously, because you could hit somebody. But I have seen ball boys get hit before, people hitting the balls and this, that, and the other. It did hit her in the throat, which obviously was an accident, and that's, it shows how dangerous it can be. But I'm of the mindset of like, if you penalize him a set or some points or something like that, cool. But I don't think he should have. To me, I under the rule, yes, he should have been qualified. But me, that's a rocky one for me, man.
I feel that.
I think if he hit her in the head, that could happen.
I mean, he hit her in the throat, which is.
But because the throat is so detrimental.
But I feel like if they hit her in the throat, it should have still been some type of warning. You know what I mean, like
the throat though,
automatic disqualification.
I mean, anywhere here, throat, head, like you can kill somebody more likely in this area right here, versus like.
But I think the head. Yeah.
So that's why I'm just like, I don't know the disqualification, but under the rules, you got to follow the rules, and it kind of is what it is. But so now we'll have a new U.S. Open champion this year, which will be interesting. So, but we will take another break and be right back. So y'all check out these messages and a song. And we are back. The crew is with me. We having a good old time today. Yes, sure we are. That was ugly accent. Yeah, dango, but dango, man. Talk about them, man. Talk about that boy.
Yeah.
King of the hill, man.
Right there, right now. Yeah.
Bobby, I sell propane and propane.
Propane.
Yo, y'all are crazy.
You don't know me. All right, I'm done. We're getting back into it. Let's talk a little bit of NFL too. Brady and Gronk make their debuts with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees and the Saints feeling like this could possibly be their last opportunity to win a Super Bowl, which I think their Super Bowl opportunity is past. I think
it's done too, bro.
On the other side. On the other side about that. But they're saying Brady's arm looks even better than it did last year. It looks stronger than it did last year. I'm like, man. And adding Leonard Fournette as a running back. Whew.
I say they giving him a lot more help than they gave Jameis Winston.
Yeah. But, I mean, we don't talk about the defensive player of the year that's a quarterback in Jameis Winston, man. That's neither here nor there. But I'm talking about them to say this. Do you think that the Buccaneers are early Super Bowl favorite?
No.
Why?
Because they got two players. Tom Brady didn't show me nothing last year, and Gronk is coming off of retirement. So I'm not really worried about them, bro.
Okay. Fair. Chris, ever seen that?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Gronk. I was surprised after I heard what happened after the Super Bowl where Gronk hurt himself. and he was in so much pain that's why he retired, and now he's coming back. So like I do feel like he's gonna play with a little bit more confidence, and he's been since that Super Bowl game or before the Super Bowl game. So I'm interested to see how they do. Super Bowl probably not expected of them, but maybe like a double-digit win season might be expected.
Real quick, what was their record last year? Let me check it.
I believe they're 7-9 or 8-8.
They'll be above that.
Yeah. I think the adding Fournette for me, depending on how their defense looks, the defense was actually pretty tough last year.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers, for me, at least make it to the conference finals. Depending on where Seattle sits, they'll probably face them in the conference finals and in the NFC Championship game. And that's tough. I think that they can be considered a Super Bowl favorite, but I think ultimately they'll have to get by Seattle in the conference in the NFC Championship game. Whether they go there or Seattle has to go to Tampa Bay remains to be seen. But I think that they have enough to win the division. Say it again.
Why? What do you have putting them over the top like that?
The Bucks?
Yeah. How do they go from bottom to the top like that?
They have
Somebody got
now. They have now. Brady now has weapons in Mike Evans. He has Godwin. He has Fournette. He has Gronkowski. Even though Gronkowski hasn't played, he has OJ. Was it OJ Howard? Like he has weapons around him, and he's gonna have protection. So their offense is gonna be stellar. And if their defense can, have at least a little bit of the impact that they did last year, for not having an offense, they'll be very, very good. They will be very, very good. That's what I'm kind of giving them.
I guess I just gotta see it, bro, because I'm not seeing it right now. I just don't. On paper, it's not even looking that good to me. But
I feel you. Now on the flip side, we said that Kansas City. We saw what Kansas City did in Game 1. Do we look at them as being a Super Bowl favorite to possibly meet the Buccaneers, or is there another team that you think can beat them?
Personally, I think Kansas City has it. I mean, I'm Eagles biased all the way, but when I look at compared to the rest of the NFC, I'm like, bro, I don't think anybody's coming close to that right now.
Right. C-Mac or Brooklyn?
Cowboys in 4?
Oh, y'all just being strong biased.
You gotta be biased.
Not even trying to answer the question.
I will say this. I am a little bit, only a little, and it's very slightly concerned for the Chiefs because of that team out of Baltimore, Maryland, and the Ravens.
And they in the AFC?
Correct. That's why I'm saying the AFC. They're both in the AFC.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I think that the Ravens, especially because Lamar Jackson is going to be looking for his big contract, that matchup is going to happen this year in the playoffs between the Ravens and the Chiefs. And I would assume it'll probably happen somewhere probably in the AFC Championship game. I would hope and love to see that. That team out of Baltimore is going to be tough. I'm not going to write off the Patriots because they, with Cam Newton, now with a somewhat rejuvenated offense, are going to be good. Their defense stinks, though, so we'll have to see about that one. And then Big Ben coming back for the Steelers, I'm not going to say that they're going to put up big numbers, but they're going to be they'll be back. You know what I mean? They weren't a bad team last year. They didn't have a QB, but the Ravens, to me, would be that team that could possibly take out the Chiefs if they get hot enough. That running attack is tough.
I'll say I agree with that. I don't think nobody else can really pose a threat but the Ravens.
Right. I agree. So moving now back to the NFC. Swish, your Eagles, man. What they going to do this year, brother? I mean, there's been reports about Zach Ertz being a little disgruntled about his contract situation. I'm pretty sure
that's one of the two things that got me worried right now. Zach Ertz and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is coming in with that little injury that they talking about. That's bugging me right now, coming off of what he's been through, bro. Because I really wanted this to be the season for him where he just shut all doubts up. But right now, I'm not sure if that's going to be the season. I still got faith in Carson, though. I think he's still a top 10 quarterback in the league, top 5 maybe. But I'm worried right now.
I understand. C-Mac.
And then,
oh, my bad. Go ahead. Continue.
No. I just wanted to go to Zach Ertz real quick because I feel for Zach Ertz. I mean, when you look at the tight ends and the top tight ends in the league, he's top 3. You look at Kittle.
Oh, yeah.
You look at Kittle, and you look at what's my man name from the Chiefs?
Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, him.
Travis Kelce.
But you look at them; they both just got new deals.
Yeah.
And you look at Zach Ertz; he's right up there in catches. But touchdowns, he may be down a little bit. Production, you can argue, but Zach Ertz is up there, bro. So that deal is in order, and he ain't getting it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not his fault. If Wentz stays healthy, different conversation.
Yeah, but he's produced even without Wentz. I mean, with Foles, he was a target.
Fair. But what I'm saying is that's one of the reasons they may try to justify it. But it's just like, it's not his fault that his production may be down a little bit because, you're working with Josh McCown.
McCown.
And then I don't even remember who came in after McCown got hurt. So you had some guys that.
Yeah, nobody basically.
You know what I mean? You didn't really have anybody to throw it consistently like Wentz was going to be able to. And Foles, didn't get him on the Super Bowl run, but he's not as talented as Wentz. We're not going to compare.
And you're right, but even with all of that, Zach Ertz is still up there amongst the top tight ends in the league.
Yeah, without a doubt. And actually, I think he's arguing. Right. If Wentz stays healthy, I think he can push his way up into that top 2 over either Kittle or Kelce, depending. We'll see.
I think it's arguable now. So, I mean, that's up to y'all to debate.
That's fair. So, C-Mac, any rebuttal?
No, great takes from the Eagles expert. I just
fly, Eagles, fly.
We still gonna fly, baby.
I can't give 2 cents on that, my Cowboys sitting right underneath them by 1 game, so we'll have to see. We'll see it play out. We'll see how it goes.
All right, real quick. What's it looking like in the NFC East for y'all Cowboys fan?
Cowboys
we can take it.
Cowboys go 10-6, probably a tie with the Eagles.
Y'all think we're in competition with y'all this year?
If Wentz stays healthy, yes.
And another quick question: what y'all think about Miles Sanders?
Miles Sanders. He's
That's a tough question.
That is a good question. He's good, but man. I don't know if he.
Do you think? Because me as an Eagles fan, bro.
Go ahead.
I could see Sanders being one of those 8 to 9 years back. You know what I'm saying? A Westbrook type back for us. But I want to get an outside point of view.
I like that. I like that take. I believe that you're talking about Brian Westbrook.
Yeah,
Brian Westbrook. That's a good comparison. The duo between him and what's Boston Scott, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could be very, very nice because they were dual threats in that regard. I think that all depends. They'll be fine. My concern overall, not trying to deflect the question.
No, you good.
Is Wentz's health and Deshaun Jackson's health. Those are my 2 concerns. Because if you have Deshaun Jackson healthy, the way that man can run.
See, with Deshaun, though, bro, I got questions. Deshaun is up there in age.
Right.
The games he did play for us, he did show us a little bit, but I'm not really sold on him as our main guy, which he is right now.
Yeah, not as your main guy. You're not gonna get too far with that one.
Nah.
helping out as your deep threat definitely
Deep threat, yeah.
definitely helps. Now back to Sanders. I mean, he's not going to be the main reason that they win, but I mean, he's going to help contribute. Between him and Boston Scott. That's all I'm going to say. He's a good player. He's a good player.
I like that.
He's a good
I
player.
like that.
So now we'll switch off of NFL to the NBA. Brooklyn got a new coach and Steve Nash. Brooklyn, I'm talking to you, man. Give me your take, man. Give us your takes on Steve Nash as being the head coach.
It's cool. Congrats to him.
Was he the right guy?
For me personally, no, but I guess for the organization and the direction they wanted to go into, I guess he was the right pick for them. But for me, nah. I would have went with. I mean, my
Who
number
would you
one
have?
pick. My number one pick always for a coaching job would be Mark Jackson. That's just.
I like
That's
that.
just for that's for any organization, not just for the Nets. That's anybody. So, but nah, I mean it's cool. I just want to see this KD and Kyrie thing work out. Honestly, that's been my main focus ever since we got them. This whole season has been my focus. It's really been just to see that.
Right.
And once that happens, then everything else will be cool. Everything surrounding it is okay.
C-Mac, I'm gonna come to you real quick, and then I'll come to Swish. I want to take this. I'm gonna take this somewhere. Go ahead, C-Mac.
I we talked about this earlier. Steve Nash is just the pick because he's not going to interfere with the play style of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and then that's the direction they want. They want to keep it where those players are comfortable and they're happy. Different coaching styles of somebody who has already been established in the league is going to want to play by their rules and play by whatever they're in the playbook. It's very rigid. It's very rigid, and not going to want to deter from that just because you're Kevin Durant. They're all grown adults, a little bit older, a little bit of age difference. So, like I say, basketball is a dictatorship, and the dictator is the coach. So you got to follow the coach's rules.
And see,
Okay, Swish.
now you ending on that right there, and that's the only thing that I have I'm questioning. You know what I'm saying, because where does it come to respect level? This is his first year in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He's going up against the top of the NBA. You know what I'm saying, he's not going up against them, but he's coaching them. So when it comes to a dictatorship, like, bro, you ain't been here before on this level. How can you tell Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant what to do in this situation and you ain't never been a coach? You ain't never won this shit.
He's not going to. That's why they picked him.
No, he's not going to. Yeah. That's what it is, though. See, and that's like part of what the new NBA is. It's let the superstars figure it out.
Okay.
He's got a lot of history.
I'm not understanding about, don't get me wrong. Steve Nash is a basketball mind. He knows basketball. I'm pretty sure he can coach a team to a championship. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, with this being his first team, he's coaching arguably some of the best players at their position to ever play the game. I'm just wondering how it's going to mesh.
It's not going to mesh how people think it is.
It's going to mesh because they see Kevin Durant as being Kevin Durant. Like, you can't really coach him to more potential, but the one person that can be coached to more potential is Kyrie Irving.
Why?
Because Steve Nash is a point guard, and he's got the point guard mindset, and he helped a lot with Steve Kerr a lot in getting Stephen Curry out of his potential and getting him to the stardom, right?
Kyrie Irving,
huh?
Was he on that?
What'd you say?
Was he on that Golden State staff?
Yeah, he was a consultant.
Consultant, yeah.
The Warriors for 5 years, player consultant.
Okay.
So he's going to help Kyrie be that leader that he wasn't able to. And he understood the leadership role and how tough it is after he left and went to Boston. He understood how tough it was for LeBron. So he needs a little bit of help and guidance.
Yeah.
But that's kind of selfish to say that our success is going to ride off of Kyrie Irving, and we need a coach to help Kyrie Irving. He could have been a consultant. like he was for Golden State.
Okay.
So this is where I'm going to take these guys. So, Switch, like you were saying, this is Steve Nash's first coaching job, right? So, just like a rookie in the NBA, right? Granted, Steve Nash did play in the NBA for many years. He was very successful. Just like a rookie in the NBA, there's going to be certain times when it comes down to, the playoffs, when it comes down to, crunch times that you haven't been there as a coach. So it's going to be a learning curve for you. But because you have a Kevin Durant and a Kyrie Irving, that's going to help, that's going to kind of help that out. You know what I mean? Like both those guys have been there before. They've done that. But where I want to take this is Steve Nash has to be probably the luckiest guy in the world. And what I mean by that is, and I'm not saying this specifically to him, saying that, it's the reason why he got hired. Because at the end of the day, organizations are going to hire who they want. But you tell me how many other coaches, how many African-American coaches in particular, if there are any, Hispanic coaches out there, if there are any Asian, how many of those guys are really going to get an opportunity to get a job to have a championship-ready team like the Brooklyn Nets?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the Warriors when Steve Kerr took over. Granted, they weren't going to the championship.
Talk about it.
They didn't think that. They didn't think
he was given a hot plate though.
right. But I'm saying.
No, he wasn't.
So.
Huh?
So.
Let Morris finish real quick.
Hold on. So Steve Kerr came in to the Golden State Warriors, who were a second-round team at best, right? But then because of how Mark Jackson built that team up with the bench, with all the players and player development, they won championships, and Steve Kerr ended up benefiting off of that. Look at Dwayne Casey with the Raptors. They ended up getting Kawhi Leonard after he fall into the Cavaliers.
Coach of the year.
And then he gets fired being coach of the year, and then Nick Nurse comes in and wins a championship.
Right.
In football, same thing happened with Tony Dungy in Tampa Bay. He built that team up. They lost. They were headed in the right direction. And then, what's his name? John Gruden came in and won a championship with them. So I'm just saying, how many brothers are going to get that opportunity to come in and coach a championship-ready team? Don't tell me about Derek Fisher with the New York Knicks. Don't tell me about David Fitzdale with the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I mean? The Pelicans with Alvin Gentry. He got fired for reasons I don't know.
I think why. I don't bang with him.
Monty Williams with the Phoenix Suns. He's had to build them from the ground up. So
wait, so you say you don't bang with who?
Alvin Gentry. Let Morris go. I don't bang with Alvin.
Alvin Gentry is who again?
The Pelicans coach.
He was the Pelicans coach. He got fired.
For good reason.
So
Alvin Gentry. The young dude? Yeah,
no, he's older.
He's old. He used to be high on the sidelines and shit.
Yeah.
But my point is, and like I said, congratulations to Steve Nash. I know I'm wishing him the best. I know he'll do well, but he doesn't have a resume, and it to me just kind of shows. To me, it shows privilege. Not saying that and Steve Nash even admitted, I skipped the line. My privilege, yeah, but we need to do a better job of hiring some of these brothers, and that also comes down to Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Y'all gotta who are the brothers that got hired, or who are the brothers that got interviewed? Who are the next coaches to possibly go take over a Philadelphia, go take over possibly a Milwaukee if Bud gets fired, go take over an Oklahoma City Thunder team that may have championship aspirations. Who are those brothers? I want to know. It's just.
Yeah, and this is not to say what that argument is not valid at all. Mm-hmm. But I think it goes back into what C just said, which I never really thought about until right now, honestly, which is the fact that players are looking to hire coaches that is going to let them do whatever they want, especially a pro. Like, you only have a selective few players that actually hire a coach they feel like he's gonna help us get to the place that we need to get to. Like, and it's two players, and this is just not. We're not saying that we know exactly what happened in there. This is just like strong, just us debating this what happened. But these are two players that already won championships.
Yeah.
They're not really trying to hear nothing like that. Like actuality, like if we were to say this is how it happened, they ain't trying to hear nobody tell them how to play ball. Like, well, I'm trying to go out there, get buckets, get a couple wins, and earn his check. That's it. I'm not really trying to.
But let's also keep in mind that these are two players that needed other players to really, really push them over the top. Because Durant didn't win until he went over to OKC. I mean, until he went to Golden State. And Kyrie didn't win until LeBron ended up coming back with the Kevin Love. So.
But both those teams also, too, needed those two players to be clutch, which both of them were.
They did. They did need them. They did. I mean, the Warriors really didn't need Durant, if we're going to be honest. They had.
They kind of did. I ain't going to front. If you kind of, like, not like OD bad, but, like, to keep up that run they had, they wouldn't have won that next year without him.
They probably would have won.
They would have with that bench that they had.
I don't think they would have won. I don't think they were going to win that next year.
Wait,
if they, huh?
Is we saying KD wasn't a factor?
KD was a factor, yeah, of course. I'm saying that.
That's what I'm asking them.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand as well. Because it's like if KD wasn't there, if KD didn't go to Golden State was not going to win.
I think that they still could have won, but I'm saying KD ensured them for sure that they were going to win. But if you don't sign KD, you re-sign like a Harrison Barnes and kind of keep that team together with the bench that you had that won 73 games. I think you still can still win. It might be harder, but you can still win. That's all. But
won that 73, but then lost. So there's and teams around the league are gonna get better.
They lost on some weird stuff though. Draymond gets suspended, Bogut getting hurt. You know,
right.
Bogut always gets hurt.
True say.
So. And
then too, you gotta also remember too that everybody else is getting better too while you're getting better.
Yeah.
So that's the major factor too why I said that.
That's fair. But I still think they could have won without KD.
Without
KD. But main point for me is that we'll see. I understand what you're saying about these players don't want to coach. Really, I say it's more for.
No, I like that though. I respect that argument a lot.
I think it's more for Kyrie not really wanting anybody to tell him what to do because KD I think could carry either. KD could carry either way. Honestly, I think KD's cool about that. It's about whether Kyrie is gonna respect Steve Nash at the end of the day, and when it goes out there, he's gonna be like, man, don't tell me nothing. I'm gonna go out and do me and shoot 30 shots. You know. So
do you think Steve Nash affects Kyrie in a positive or a negative?
I don't really think he affects him at all.
At all? You think Kyrie comes out and be the same as that player that he was?
I do. I think he comes out and he's pretty much the same guy that he was.
I hope so.
I
just hope they don't try to restrict Kyrie in any type of way. Because Steve Nash was the traditional point guard, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pass first, all that.
Right.
And Kyrie is the complete opposite. So
exactly.
I'm just wondering how that will mesh.
Right, and that's my point. If it comes down to it, Steve Nash, I'm the coach. Kyrie, get out of here.
Yeah,
Kyrie has a ring.
I'm Kyrie.
I'm
Kyrie.
Yeah, exactly. Kyrie has a ring. Steve Nash doesn't. Let's not forget that.
Steve Nash got MVPs though.
Yeah.
If that matters for anything.
Steve Nash does have 2 MVPs, but he never won. Kyrie did.
And he shouldn't have those. I'll just go out there and say that.
That's neither here or there.
But I'm gonna say it.
Dude.
Say that then.
Yeah, he shouldn't have those. But hey,
say that then.
But we're gonna leave it there and end it there, guys. That's been this episode of Stats versus Facts Sports Talk, my man. That was a good episode, guys. Really, really good episode.
Yeah.
Real quick before we run out of here. 72-71 Celtics over the Raptors into the third quarter. It is close. But,
He was a dog, bro. I'm just gonna say that too.
yeah.
Who?
Tatum. He's a dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
definitely.
Without a doubt. But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for this episode. My guys, I appreciate that we didn't have everybody here, but we had a good show. You can always follow us or find us on Breaker. You can follow us on Radio Public.
What else?
Follow us on Google Podcasts.
Oh
You can
yeah.
follow us on Spotify.
Oh
And you
yeah.
can follow us on Anchor.fm.
Live.
And just type in and look up Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. That's Stats VS period Facts Sports Talk. As my man EA says, if you don't have that VS, you probably listening to some BS. You're gonna come after me. I already know.
Shai. Word.
And you can follow us on our new page, Stats versus Facts Sports Talk IG, and on Twitter, Stats versus Facts Sports Talk. Same name, man. We got stuff going on. And also follow us on the YouTube coming soon. Yes, sir, my boy. And also show love to the guys, Swish, Brooklyn, EA. Follow them on their music accounts, SoundCloud, Spotify, anywhere music platforms are. Follow them. They got some new stuff coming out soon, my guys. Absolutely. Not missing anything. C-Mac, I think that's all. Am I missing anything, C-Mac?
No.
I think that's it. Well, for the guys.